So I just wanted to talk a little bit about brand names today. I've recently had a client who's been really struggling with finding the perfect brand name for themselves, and it's something that I also really struggled with. In the beginning, I spent probably 2 or 3 months just agonising over words and short phrases. I was just getting nowhere, mainly because I didn't enjoy the word or anything that I thought of up until then was already taken. There was no domain name available for it, even looking at .design or .studio or anything like that, and it was becoming quite frustrating. So the reason that I'm doing this video is because I've recently had a client with a very, very similar issue. They're wanting to open up a fast food restaurant. They already run a very successful chain of franchises, but now they want to open up their own with their own branding, their own menu, their own feel, something that's theirs that they can then build and make into a franchise themselves. So from the very start, my client were really clear on what they wanted to achieve with the business, what they wanted it to be, how the menu would work, and all this kind of thing. And then it came to naming it, and this is where they really, really struggled. So I was also tasked with coming up with a few ideas for them. It's not something that I tend to do because I know how difficult naming a business is, but in this case I thought I'll help them out because it's something that they were very passionate about. So I just wanted to chip in my ideas just so they had a few extra coming from someone else. However, everything that them and I thought of, it either was taken, as you'd expect, or it just wasn't hitting the mark for them. They weren't really feeling it. So I did a little bit of digging into how to find that perfect brand name, and I came across a really good video by Jonathan Bell. It's a TED Talk, and in that he says, or he gives us a few figures where he says that there are 300 million businesses in the world at the moment. Now that's an astronomical amount of names that you now have to rule out. And that mixed with wanting to find the perfect brand name that totally sums up what you are and what you're doing and the products and services that you offer, and also finding something that's super cool, that is just nigh on impossible. We were hitting a brick wall with the client, and I wanted to approach it from a different angle. So I started to think about what's in a brand name. I thought this was now the time that we should go back and check out other brands in the same space. This is obviously something that we'd done previously, but not looking at it from the same angle and direction. What I wanted to understand is what makes a good brand name. So I broke down the top UK fast food restaurant brands and put them into categories. Now these categories are descriptive, people, and abstract. So descriptive names are Burger King or Pizza Hut or Pizza Express. So from the very start, these guys pinned their offer into the wall. They're doing burgers or pizzas. Now the problem with this is that you have no room for expanding into something else. Burger King are unlikely to do pizzas. Pizza Hut are very unlikely to do burgers. That leaves us with people and abstract names. Names like McDonald's, Greggs, Five Guys, Nando's, that sort of thing. And without having any prior knowledge of these brands or the experience that they give in restaurants, you would have absolutely no idea what they do at all. The names are just meaningless. But through branding and the restaurant experience, the names become synonymous with what they do, how they do it, and what you can expect from them as well. In my opinion, these are better as a brand name. They're more versatile. But in the ideas stage, they often get disregarded because they have no meaning or connection to the business without the branding and the experience to back them up. While brainstorming with the client, they mentioned that they wanted a one-word name like Domino's, which of course is an abstract name. So I encouraged them to look at other brands that they admire, such as Domino's, and to try and imagine those brand names with no prior knowledge of the brand or the experience. The point of this was to try and get the client to understand how the brand name can become synonymous with the product through branding and through customer experience. I was also hoping that we could bring in some of the previous names that we'd already disregarded back into the fold. We had a really good pool of names, and it was a shame to just totally lose them completely. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, don't go stressing yourself out over weeks and months. There is a lot riding on your business, but it's important to remember that your business is not built on the brand name alone. So rather than trying to find those words, or a few words, that embody your products or morals or values or whatever, why not try thinking of words that sound good? Something that's going to be memorable, or something that's nice and easy to say. But again, most importantly, don't stress about it. So after all this, my client did actually end up deciding on a name. It was a name that we previously disregarded, but because we'd looked at it from another angle and we started to look at that bigger picture of the name and the branding and the customer experience, they suddenly made everything connect. So just like your logo is part of your overall brand identity, so is your brand name. And with a strong brand identity, your brand name will eventually just become the way that people tell other people about your product and service. See, that's the thing that we're trying to get to with creating a name that's nice and easy to say, plus excellent branding that's striking and memorable, plus the service that your business provides. People will talk about that. Now, you don't need to explain your name. You don't need to back up why you chose it or justify what it means. You know, who cares that Domino's was originally called Dominic's, or that Five Guys is literally owned by 5 lads who are the sons of the original owners. But for these guys, none of that matters. What matters to them is that they've got a strong brand identity. They produce great stuff and people know them for that. Now, I know this kind of sounds like I'm saying just think of a name and it doesn't matter what it is. That's not what I'm saying at all. You should still put in the effort to try and find something that is unique and something that is meaningful to your business. Just don't worry about if your name isn't cool enough, or it's not punchy enough, or it doesn't actually relate to whatever it is that you do. You know, you bring that through your branding, through the way that you are with your customers, the way that you are on social media and through your marketing. I mean, to be fair, let's face it, pizza aside, what does Domino's mean? Literally the word Domino's just relates to a game, but mix Domino's with their great branding and the products that they produce, and it suddenly means everything because it's strong and memorable. To summarise, coming up with a brand name is super difficult, but just don't stress about it. Don't put too much ownership on what that brand name has to do, because you can always fix this with a strong brand and the products that you produce, and making sure that you're giving your customers an excellent service. So I hope this has been useful to you. If you liked it, click like, that'd be grand. And if you want to see more like this and not miss anything, don't forget to subscribe and ding that bell just so you get a cheeky little notification. Or if you've got any questions or some tips of your own, pop them in the comments below, that would be awesome. So I suppose all that's left to say is cheers, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.